When it comes to marketing your music, it's so important to have a brand for you and your music. That way you know exactly how to market and promote yourself. And once you actually come up with a brand, it's important to stay consistent with it, not just on one platform, but across all platforms. That way fans know how to find you, who it is that they're looking for, and what it is you stand for.
You know that we coming liars. I'ma keep praying to God, tell those little niggas stop it. Tell my mama that I got this. You know that we coming liar.
What's going on? It's Pim Fried Rice. Welcome to the Music into Millions podcast, the show where we give independent rappers the tools and resources needed to be successful without waiting on a record label. Like I said in the intro, today we're going to be talking about how to consistently brand yourself across all platforms. So once you've established what your brand is, it is so important for you to be consistent across every platform. That way people know it's you, they know what to expect when they see your content, and they know where to go. So before I get into the meat and potatoes of how to really brand yourself consistently across all platforms, one thing that I recommend doing is actually coming up with a brand board. A brand board essentially is a piece of paper that tells you, okay, my brand uses these colors all the time. My brand uses this type of language. My brand uses these emojis because they tie in with our personality. My brand uses this type of colors. My brand uses this type of content. And when you come up with a brand board, what you're doing is you're basically setting the guidelines for all future posts. And you know now, okay, if I'm going to post content, does it line up with the things that I put together on my brand board? And now if you guys want a template so you can set a brand board for yourself and you can have all your branding clearly mapped out, stick around to the end of this video and I'll tell you guys where you can get the exact brand board that I used when I was setting up my brand and putting my content together. So before we move any further into the video, I need you guys to smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow the Music into Millions channel to 500 followers. So I need you guys to be a part of the family. Hit the subscribe bell, hit the notification bell hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. That way you know whenever we upload new content, whether it's podcast episodes or beats. And with that being said, let's get right back into it. So once you have your brand board defined, you know exactly what your brand is, what you stand for. It is super important to be consistent across all platforms with that branding. And now one of the first ways that you can keep consistent branding across all the platforms is by having a consistent profile picture. So now this is important because you don't want to have a bunch of different profile pictures to confuse people. If you have one profile picture on Instagram, that should be the same profile picture you have on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, because now when people find your channel, they're going to see that profile picture and they're going to be like, oh, I know it's him because I saw this picture on Instagram or because I saw it on YouTube or saw it on Facebook. They're going to see it consistently all over the place and they're going to be like, okay, I know for a fact this is Pim Fried Rice or whoever it is that they're looking for. If you have just a random profile picture and it's this guy over here and then it's maybe your cover art on this one, then it's just a meme that you like on this one, that's going to be really confusing and difficult for fans to know for a fact that it's you, especially if you have a bit more of a generic rap name like Lil something or Young something, because there's a lot of those out there. So make sure you guys have something that's going to set you apart from other people, but then stay consistent within your own brand. And also, bonus tip, don't hide behind a random picture. Make sure it's either a picture of you or a picture of something that has to do with you and your brand, like cover art, your logo, your face. Don't just hide behind random memes and random photos. That makes it even more difficult for you to stay consistently branded, because then you're pulling other random things into your brand. Next thing you want to do to consistently brand yourself is use consistent colors. And now if you notice a lot of profiles that are really good at branding, if you scroll through their timeline, all of the posts will fit into specific color schemes. When it comes to coming up with the colors that you want to use, I typically say find 3 to 4 colors that you feel like really fit your brand and then just use those and stick to them. Now, it's not saying you can't use any other colors in the world, but I would just say all of the main content pieces you put out should revolve around these 3 or 4 colors. So like Music into Millions, the colors that I use for our brand is white, black, green, and tan. I use white and black just because I love the boldness of the colors. They're very clean, they look very professional. I use green just because obviously Music into Millions, it's $1 million, millions is money, money is green. And it's a specific green that we use too. It's not just any green in the world, it is actually a very close to the dollar bill green that we use. And then also we use a tan just because Music in the Millions ties in with Pimp Fried Rice, and Pimp Fried Rice has a tan in his hat that I really like, and I feel like it's a really nice complementary color to the green, the black, and the white. Now, before you do just pick your colors, you don't want to just have like any random colors in the world, like a purple, a yellow, a red, and a brown, because that's not going to look well together. There is this thing called color psychology, which basically breaks down like what specific colors mean, what those colors cause people to feel inside. It's important to do a little bit of research there so that way you know exactly what these colors mean. Like, did you know that red is a very bright in your face color, but it also signifies speed? So that's why McDonald's uses yellow and red. I actually got that backwards, I think. Yellow represents hunger. No, I got that backwards. Red represents hunger, and yellow represents speed. So by McDonald's having the colors red and yellow, that literally represents fast food, because it's the red makes you hungry, the yellow is saying it's going to be a fast experience. You slap those colors together and that's McDonald's brand. So colors are very important. Make sure you're using the same colors every single time. And one way to be sure that you're using the same exact shade of that color, not just a very close variation, is using something called hexadecimals or color codes. And that's basically like a hashtag, and then it'll be a combination of numbers and letters after it. And those numbers and letters represent a specific color in whatever software that you're using, whether it be Paint or whether it be Canva or whether it be Photoshop. Anywhere where you can set a specific color, you are going to use that hexadecimal code in order to set that color so it's the same every single time. Next, in order to consistently brand yourself, you need to use similar language across all your platforms. If you guys have listened to my content for a while, and if you follow both my channels and my Instagram and everything else, you'll realize I use a lot of the same language. I say independent rapper a lot. I say Music in the Millions a lot. I say take your music to the next level a lot. I talk about self-branding. I talk about all these things that are very consistent language, so that way when you go to my profiles and you go to my different platforms, you're going to hear the same type of language. But you're also going to hear me talking the same. Like, I'll curse when I need to. I don't really give a fuck about doing that because that's how I talk naturally. I say goofy, off the wall stuff. The branding and the language is very consistent because I'm just talking exactly how I talk. I'm not putting a filter on myself. But there are key phrases that I use that also ties into every platform. Like I said, like the take your music to the next level, the independent rapper, just different terms like this that really tie into me and my brand, that help me to get my message across clearly. But make sure you're just using similar language. Don't say on one platform you're a very clean, well-spoken person, then on another platform you're like, fuck this, fuck that, I'm just fucking chilling, man. Like, it's not going to tie in. People are going to be like, this guy is night and day, and he's very contradicting to himself. Just be consistent and be you all the way through. Also, you need to have consistent links on your platform, and actually you want to use them to tie into your other platforms. So if you have a link that goes back to your website, that's awesome, because now you're keeping people within your brand. Also, you should have your Instagram tying back to your TikTok, or your TikTok tying back to your Instagram, because they have that capability. Or have your YouTube channel have your links so people could check out your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all these different things. You want your links to be intermingled with each other in all your different platforms. That way people are just literally in a spider web of you and your brand. No matter where they click on your profile, no matter where they go, it takes them to another place that has to do with you, your music, your branding. That is so important because that's what's going to keep them in your circle of interest. So definitely make sure you're using links. I actually just did a video on links and how important it is to have them in your bio. I think it was on Monday. I'll link that somewhere up here. That way you guys can check that out. But yeah, super important to make sure you're using links to get people to stay within your different platforms and content and channels and places like that. And lastly, you just want to make similar content. Like I said, you don't want to have one type of personality on one platform and one type of personality on another platform. If you're going to make content, make that content all the way across the board. So if you go on my TikTok, my Instagram, my YouTube, you're going to know I like skateboarding, anime, music, marketing, superheroes, dinosaurs, all this type of shit. You're going to find this stuff out about me. 1, with the way that I talk, but 2, the type of content I put out. 3, the type of outfits that I wear. Just really everything ties into you guys knowing this is who I am, this is my personality, this is what I stand for, and this is the content that I make. Make that consistent across every platform. Don't just ride the wave of that platform because you feel like you need to fit in. And now guys, if you stuck around to the end of the video just so you can grab that brand board so you can set a template for yourself so that way all your brand stays consistent, let me tell you right now, you can get that just by hitting the link down below in the description. It will ask you for your email address. All you got to do is enter it there, and then it will be sent right to your email, and it literally will break down exactly what I was talking about, how to set your brand, all these phrases, the colors, the emojis, all this different stuff like that, because you want to stay consistent across your platform. That way people know it's you, they know it's your music, and they know what to expect. With that being said, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll catch you guys on Monday. Peace.